Hi, everyone. Moshe Rothschild, the Global Israel Alliance, and giving you the weekly news update from Israel for April 17th, 2020, coming to you from the Western Wall. Of course, they added an event and some books over here. But here's the news for this week. Hopefully, I'll perfect the technology. This week, Israel has reported a little over almost 13,000 cases of coronavirus, and we've had 148 fatalities, 148 deaths so far in Israel. Israel has been ranked the number one most safe place in the world to be for coronavirus. And if you want to know where your country ranks, you can check on the internet, but Israel is number one for safety. This week was reported that an Israeli high school developed a robot to help protect medical professionals who are treating patients with coronavirus. They were a group of high school students from Haifa. They were mentored by engineers from the Technion, which is like Israel's MIT. And they developed this robot that can bring medications or food or whatever equipment is needed to help the coronavirus patients without the medical professionals having to interact with them, which is critical because at this point, Israel has about 3,000 medical professionals who are under quarantine. So we need all the help we can get. This week on Pesach, this past week, was the famous Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing that they do on the holiday of Sukkot and on Passover. And normally there's about 100,000 people there. This week there were 10 people. So quite a reduction because of obviously the coronavirus restrictions. This past week at the Passover Seder at 8:30 p.m., the whole country went outside and sang out loud the Manish Tanah, and which of course, if you're not familiar with the Seder, which is the 4 questions said at the Seder, and in our neighborhood, I know we went out, it was beautiful to hear all the neighborhoods singing from their porches together. Anatoly Sharansky, now, of course, who's known as Natan Sharansky, the famous prisoner of Zion, who was held in a Soviet prison for about 10 years till being released in 1985, and he's served in our cabinet here. He was a minister in the government, the head of the Jewish Agency, very famous, a Soviet, what was called a refusenik. This week won a prize called the Genesis Prize, where he won $1 million, and he donated the entire prize to help coronavirus victims. This week, in a very, very beautiful story, there was a report in the news here of an Arab nurse in the north working in a geriatric center, and she sang the Manish Tanah, of course, which is said at the Seder, as I mentioned before, the 4 questions. She read it to the geriatric patients who were not allowed to have any visitors. So a beautiful story here from Israel. In politics, so Benny Gantz, who had the mandate to form a government with Netanyahu, failed to form a government. They could not come to an agreement. So President Rivlin, who's a little bit frustrated with this, gave it over to the Knesset, and anyone can form a government now, but still Netanyahu and Rivlin are negotiating. We're hoping something comes out of that. If not, they've already set a date. I think it's August 6th for our next election here in Israel. So that's the story, folks. Now, one very, very important reminder, I sent out an email. I'm starting a course this Tuesday, a 6-part course. It's going to be amazing about the Hebrew language, the wisdom and the incredible secrets you can find in the Bible by understanding the letters and the words of the Hebrew alphabet. And even if you don't read Hebrew, you will appreciate this course. If you do, you'll appreciate it maybe even a little bit more. But I urge you to sign up. You should have gotten an email. If you haven't, just respond to this and I will send you the link to sign up. I'd love everybody to sign up for it. It's going to be amazing. So that's it, folks. I'm going to stop here, and I hope this new background works out. Took me a while to figure it out. So anyway, wishing you all Shabbat Shalom, ending our 5th week of lockdown here in Israel. I am Moshe Rothschild for the Global Israel Alliance.